What's going on? This is Dave from Classic Touch Mobile Detail, and this is Detail TV. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Now today we're going to talk about customer service. Why should we talk about customer service? Well, customer service is an essential part of your business. That's the key part of customer service in your business. It's crucial. That's why we're going to talk about 10 do's and don'ts. Basically, there's 5 do's and there's 5 don'ts of customer service. Okay? So let's get into it. Number 1, respect your customer. Why you should respect your customer? Because you got a business. Just that simple. You should respect your customer. In any relationship, you should respect the person that you're talking to, or the business that you're doing business with. You should respect that person or that business. It's because why I say that, if they have an interest in you to the very point that they listen to you when you pitch your sales pitch to them, they showing you respect. You should be doing the same thing in like manner, showing them respect. You want to make your customer feel that they have value and that they feel valued and important. So respecting your customer goes a long way. It's the easiest way to show that you really care and generate a wholesome experience that will last for them and for yourself. Number 2, be honest. Now, you heard the old saying, honesty is the best policy, which is true. Being honest and trustworthy, it's more than anything in stabilizing a relationship with someone. You want to cultivate and stabilize your relationship with your clients and your client base, your customer base. So you must be honest in all your dealings with them. Nothing destroys trust faster than broken promises. And if you're promising that service, and this service requires you to do these things that you got listed, you perform those things that service requires. That's being honest. What you say and what you promise, you do. Okay? You need to be fair about your prices. In addition, all your additional fees, your add-ons, all that stuff. You need to be fair. So if you have a special or a sale, and you advertising your special for the month, or however you structure, however you do, you make sure that your customer knows and what that service entails, or that special, or that campaign that you have, and make sure it's listed and what you're going to do for this particular price, because you want to make sure your customer has a clear understanding of what this price is, what it entails. So you be honest with your customer. Okay? Number 3, take responsibility. Now, taking responsibility. Take responsibility for what, you may ask? Well, take responsibility for your company, your own business. That shows professionalism. Taking responsibility shows professionalism on your part as you being a business owner. It implies that you're willing to take responsibility and it to for the problems that may arise in your services or your company. That's you saying you standing up for your company. If I made a mistake, I'm gonna make it right. Is that's what you need to do. That's showing professionalism. And I'm gonna give you an example. I was out detailing cars for this particular contract that I have with this company, and a lady approached me and asked me for a business card because I seen her out the corner of my eye looking and seeing what I was doing. For about 2 or 3 minutes, she was looking, so I was looking at her out the corner. Look, inconspicuously. I said she want to know what's going on. So she approached me and asked me for a business card because she seen the advertisement on the van headlight restoration. So she asked me for a card and asked me how much would it cost for me to do headlight restoration. I gave her a card which is stakes on it 69 well $59.99, $60. And she said, oh, okay. So I say, well, whenever you're ready, ma'am, you could give me a call. You could and or you could go to my website and make an appointment. She say, okay, thank you. So about 2 weeks later passed by. 2 weeks passed by, and she called me, and she asked me when will I be available to do her headlights. I say, well, I could do it tomorrow, ma'am. Leave me your information, and I'll be there tomorrow at X amount of time. So the next day I came and I assessed her headlights again, and she came out and she say, what do you want? What do you do? Right? I explained the services to her. I explained what I was going to do, the clear coat. I wasn't going to use anything but a product that's more durable. So I explained the whole situation to her, what products I was going to use and what it entails in those in that services. So she say okay, right? So she went back in the house while I did my job. So she came out about 15 minutes later, right before I got started to getting ready to prep because I had to mask up my area, mask up my headlights and stuff like that, and before I started actually sanding and everything. And we're going to get into headlight restoration and what you do, the procedures that you must take in order to perform a service from step A to step Z. That's what we're going to do for you, and we're going to give you a little uh, uh, show you a clip on before and after pictures of headlight restoration. That's in another segment. But anyway, she came out 15 minutes later, and she said, "Well, my husband needs his headlights done." And I said, "Oh, which car?" It was a Honda sitting in the driveway, which the headlights didn't even need headlight restoration really. But her husband's Jeep was on next to the Honda, and I took a quick look at them, right? And I say, "Yeah, I could do those too." Didn't go any further than that. So she went back in the house, right? And then I performed my task and finished the job and was taking the masking paper and stuff off her vehicle when her husband came out. Her husband came out and said, "Wow, that looks really nice." Yeah, I said, "Thank you, sir." He said, can you do my headlights?" I said, "Yes, sure, I can. I could do your headlights." And here it is. They always want a deal. I don't care People that's, hey, I want a deal. I want deals too. So I can understand exactly where he coming from, and anybody that tried to trying to get, a service done cheaper. Hey, that's just the American way, so to speak. I mean, that's just it is what it is. I say, yes, sir. I could give you. I could perform that service for you. I could give you. I could do your headlights as well, sir. Well, can you do both of them for $100? I say, why not? Yes. I say, since I'm here, sir, I'll go ahead and do both headlights for $100. So that's basically $50, each. And he said, okay. Now here's the problem. Now I'm sharing this with you because this is what I should have done from the gate. But I was in a rush. I didn't assess the headlights properly to give him the information that he needed to be satisfied at the end of the service. Did you get that? I didn't give him all the information that he should have had in his head, and the knowledge that I had. I didn't, how you say it, I didn't share that information with him so he could be knowledgeable of the outcome when the service was completed. So I did his headlights. Okay, performed it, finished it. Did you know the job was good? I mean, I improved his headlights, but it wasn't to his satisfaction. When he came outside, he picked it apart. What are these little things right here? And what are these? And those things that he was talking about and pointing out were stress cracks from an old, his lenses was weathered and they was cracked on the inside, which you cannot remove that. I removed the haziness and the yellow dingy film off the outside, which caused your vision to be obscured. But I didn't remove the stress cracks because I can't. Now it's totally impossible to remove those scratches off the inside of a lens. So I didn't explain that to him. So he picked it apart and said, "What are these little things and everything?" And I explained it to him. He said, "Well, yeah." I'm looking at him. His head, his wheels are turning in his head. I say, "Okay, here he comes." This is what I said to myself, right? This is what he said. "Well, what are we going to do about that?" I said, "Sir, there's nothing I could do about that. That's on the inside of your headlights. Those stress cracks on the inside of your headlights can't be removed." I say, "What do you want to do about it? I mean, or if you're not satisfied, sir, I won't even charge you for it." Boom! That stopped everything. That put a stop to anything else that he was going to say. And that's being responsible and showing professionalism when you're taking responsibility. You're taking responsibility for something a problem that arose in your service when the customer was not happy. So taking responsibility is key in your business. Now, to get back to the story, he said to me, "Well, can I give you $70 then? Is $70 good?" I said, "Yes, sir. $70 is great." So basically, I did 2 set of headlights for $40 a piece. Well, $35 a piece. I'm sorry, $35 a piece. Did I lose? Yeah, I lost money. But did I keep a customer? Yeah, I kept a customer. You know why? Because that customer seen the professionalism of my business and how I handle things, that if anything else go wrong with their car or they want a detail, believe me, they calling Classic Touch. And that's what you need, and that's what you need to have, and that's the kind of mentality that you need to have when you are performing the services and taking responsibility in your business. And that's just how it is, and that's how it should be. Number 4, always put yourself in the customer's shoes. And why I say that? I'm going to give you an example. I know, and everybody have experienced this. I don't care if you doing any business with anybody from any company have going through this. The reason why you need to put yourself in the shoes of the customer is because you've gone through the same thing with other businesses. If you ain't happy and you got a complaint, you want somebody to listen to you, right? So you put yourself in the shoes of the customer and you listen to them and see what's on their mind, because they have concerns about whatever the case may be in your services. So you put yourself in the customer's shoes and you listen to their concerns and you work that out with them on a positive note. You want your customers to feel that you care about them, and that's how you keep customers. You don't want your customers to be frustrated with you. You don't want your customers to feel neglected. So your customer service skills need to be tight. So put yourself in the customer's shoes and feel their concerns and eradicate any problems. Number 5 of the 5 fundamental do's is express your gratitude. Now, expressing your gratitude, what does that entail? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Oh, you're very welcome. Words like that expresses gratitude. Expressing gratitude to your customers will make them feel appreciated for their loyalty to your brand. That's very important, right? Right? It should be. Look, if you got Soapy Sales Detailing coming around your spot and detailing cars and detailing your car, right? Don't you want to show show gratitude to them? Don't you want to have the ability to make them feel appreciated? Because you know why you should? Because they paying your salary. They coming out of their wallet to give you and pay you for your services, which they don't have to. You know why? Because there's other detailers out there too. So you want to be better than those other detailers. You want to have and show an attitude of appreciation for them spending their hard-earned money on your service. Now, you need to go as far as the point of acting like the lowly one. I mean, that's the only way to be. And when I say lowly one, that means being appreciative and showing what's the word? Showing a heart of loyalty to them, right? In a sense, you need to be loyal to them, just like they showing loyalty to you by even calling your number. So you want to gain that and keep that customer. Once you land that customer, try to keep that customer. And you could do that with showing gratitude. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to go through the 5 don'ts of customer service. This is Classic Touch. I'm Dave, and this is Detail TV. We'll be right back in a sec. All right, we back. Let's get into the 5 don'ts of customer service. And these are the things that you don't do, but you do. Okay? I mean, these are the things that you really don't want to do. Number 1 of the 5 don'ts. Don't make things overcomplicated for your customer, bro. Never underestimate their inexperience to your services. Never underestimate that. Because the time we living in, the day we living in, they're more tech savvy than you think they are. And they're technical in a way that you don't know. So don't try to pull the wool over your customers' eyes and make things overly complicated for them to understand. You know your business, right? You know your services. Make it easy for them to understand in the lamest terms that you could possibly give them. So they'll have a clear knowledge of your services. Okay? And that goes without saying. I mean, customers needs to be included in everything. Basically, when you provide, include them in this, include them in it. Tell them what you're doing. Make them feel that they're getting the service that the service that they need, and the service that they're going to feel happy when they choose that service, that you're going to give them the best job that it requires. That's just being a good business person. But that's not making things overly complicated for them. You don't want to do that. Number 2 of the 5 don'ts. Don't be indifferent. What do I mean by the don't be indifferent? Don't feel like you don't care about your customer. Don't make your customer feel that you don't care about them. Because that's like an occupational hazard in a sort of way. You don't want them to feel that you don't care about them. You want to make sure that you have an open heart and you listening to them and their concerns. Okay? Really. That's what you need to do. Okay? Number 3. Don't treat your customers as transactions. What do I mean by that? Treating your customer as a transaction. Well, you don't want your customer to feel that you're just a dumping ground for their money. You don't want your customer to feel like they are a one-time transaction either. You want your customer to feel that, I mean, You want to have a strong, long-lasting relationship with your customer base, your customers. Once you land a customer, your intentions is not to have a one-time transaction with that customer. Your intention is to gain that customer for life. That's repeated income, but you don't want your customer to feel like a one-time transaction. And and how you go about that is that I mean, you talk to them and you treat them as a friend, basically as family. You make a person feel like they're they're that you are concerned about their problems with their car. I mean, you going out to solicit to clean their car will make them feel that you're the best person for that job, man. You know, and explain and relate to them, you know, uh, your concerns about this, about what they want, and how you gonna perceive, or how you gonna perform that service for them to make them feel, that you did a good job. Make them feel that this guy knows what he's talking about. This this company is a good company. These guys out here are, they care about my situation. This is how you have to make them feel. You have to make them feel like that, and you have to be. I mean, it's not a game, man. These people are paying for your livelihood, so you have to treat them like, they the best thing since sliced bread. I'm serious, and that's just in business. I mean, make them feel wanted. So don't treat them like a one-time transaction. Treat them like a repeated, you want them to feel, you want them to be able to be a repeat customer for years to come. Believe me. Number 4, don't ignore customer feedback. Make sure you listen to your customers, bro. They are the people who want your company to perform better. So let them share their opinions about their experience with you, and keep it open, and any kind of suggestions or feedback that they might have. I mean, keep that open. If they got suggestions, man, listen to them, because you don't know everything. You understand? Don't let that customer feel like that you don't have you got a wall, and that you know what you're talking about. You may know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm not saying that you don't know what you're talking about, but you don't want your customer to have that type of you know um, you don't want your customer to look at you that way. That you're not open for any suggestions. Come on, bro. Knowledge is power. So if anybody have a suggestion, or any kind of feedback that they may have, just listen to them and say thank you for that feedback. I really appreciate that. Because that could better your business. You don't know that. So listen to these people, and don't ignore their feedback and their opinions. Okay? Number 5, don't be afraid of any complaints. No matter how hard you try, it's hard to satisfy people. That's something that you got to realize in business. You can't make everybody happy. Nope. You can't make everybody happy. You can make some people happy, but you can't make everybody happy. So there's going to be ones out there that's going to hate. You know what I'm saying? There's people out there just going to be, not satisfied. And you got to deal with that. And how do you deal with that? You got to go all the way back. You got to go all the way back to number 3 of the do's. Take responsibility. Okay? Take responsibility of your business and be professional and have professionalism in your company. Okay? So, those were the 10 do's and don'ts of customer service. And I hope I said something that helped you and that made a difference in your business. This is Dave from Classic Touch Mobile Detail, and we'll see you the next time on Detail TV. Peace.
Bell Studios.